And welcome back to another Quest Reviews, everyone. We are back on Wednesdays. Here we are. I told you we were back, and I told you it was going to be a weekly thing, and I did not lie. We had the all set up ready, so here we go. This week, we're doing a comedy movie, and I was really looking forward to a edgy comedy. And I'll get to it later why I feel this way, as I always do, but this wasn't it. Sadly. With the cast, you would think this had, no, I won't even get it. This had some vibes, all right? This had some vibes that I was really looking forward to, and it just was not there. So we'll get into all that, but tonight we are talking about the 2024 comedy film, which is weird because if you look it up, it's categorized as comedy action. Don't know why, but it is a comedy film starring Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage. It is called Brothers. That is what we're doing tonight. We're talking about that. We're going to get to our score. Spoiler free, of course, so don't worry. I'm not going to spoil anything. If you were worried that, if you're new to it and you're worried that, you don't want to watch this because, you want to pick at it yourself, you don't want anything ruined, don't worry. I know earlier, if you've watched any of the earlier stuff, you know that we used to spoil stuff. We don't do that anymore. We keep it fresh. We keep it very bare bones when it comes to information wise. We give you what we think we can give you, and we give you our scores, and then we're out. Okay, so keep that in mind. But that's what we're doing tonight. We are doing the 2025 comedy movie Brothers. Before we get all of that, make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe. All right, hit it. See it on screen. Do it. It helps out a lot, guys, all right? Helps out more than what you... And if you can, please leave some comments down below. Helps us get this video out there to other people. Helps us beat the algorithm, because the algorithm is forever a challenge. No matter how good your content is, the algorithm is constantly against you. So, yeah, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think. And like, follow, subscribe. On any platform. If you're watching this on Rumble, do the same. If you're watching on YouTube, do the same. If you're watching on the website, well, go to the platforms and do the same. Again, do all that. It helps out a lot, guys. It helps us reach our goals, which in return helps us make better content for you guys. If you want to see the improvements of everything that I've done across the board, whether it was with Hueless Vision or with Noble GI, go check that out. You'll see what you guys have helped me create. But again, go to HuelessVision.com. Check all that out. You'll be able to find the merch store. You'll be able to find every video that I've done, whether it's the Quest Reviews, Grim Tales Deep Cuts, Grim Tales of Podcast, Game Nights, and so on. It is all there on the website. Same thing with the merch store. It is there. You'll be able to find the full schedule, so you know what's going on, whether these shows, drop shows, so forth and so on. It's all there. HuelessVision.com. Check it out and pass it around. Let me know what you think. But yeah, with that said, I want to get into the movie. We're only on limited time here. So tonight we are talking Brothers. Now, mind you, there are a little bit more movies of this, I guess. It was a little hard doing research on this because apparently there's quite a few movies named Brothers. This is the 2024 comedy movie starring Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage. So look that up if you're looking up information, because it was a little challenging to find certain information. But that is what we're doing tonight. That's the movie we're talking about. Boom, there it is right there. Brothers. What can I say? I was actually kind of disappointed in this film. Sadly, actually disappointed. All right. So when I initially seen the trailer for this movie, and maybe somebody will disagree, I'm sure there will, and it's fine, but I got Bad Santa vibes. Not, the Christmas stuff, but the way that it was presented, the comedy. Bad Santa was actually quite funny. Both 1 and 2 were actually quite funny. They're very edgy. They don't throw no they don't hold back on any punches. They just fucking chuck them at you. And that's the comedy I like. I like comedy that just comes right at you with no regard for your emotions or feelings. because I come from a generation that's what comedy was. You had your George Carlins, your Martin Lawrence's. I could go on. I'm not going to name them all. Your Eddie Murphy, when Eddie Murphy was good back in the day. Like, there is a billion of them. I come from a time where those were the comedians, and they didn't care about your feelings. They just said some funny shit, and you either laughed or you didn't. And that's where I come from. So that's the reason why I like Bad Santa. That's the reason why I like movies like Tropic Thunder, shit like that, right? Because it's just all out in your face comedy. This was not it. It tried to be. It tried so hard to be. You would think with the casting power that this movie had, there were so many people in this movie, just to name a few. I'm just going to go out and right here and just name a few of the cast. Of course, we had Peter Dinklage, Brendan Fraser, which I'll get to in a moment, Jennifer Landon, Glenn Close. I mean, those are just Josh Brolin, which is funny. Because when you look this up, when you look the cast up on IMDb, Josh Brolin's not in there. Was this movie so bad that Josh Brolin was like, nah, I don't need to be a part of that. You guys can take me out, right? Because that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like looking at this. So, again, with the cast that you see, and with the trailers that were presented, you would think that this movie's really edgy. And don't get me wrong, it had a few parts that I won't go into, but there was a few parts you're like, right? There was a few parts where you laugh a little bit. But when you're watching a edgy comedy movie, you shouldn't laugh a little bit. You should be laughing across the board. You should be. But I wasn't. And I think, I would like to think I got a pretty fucked up sense of humor. So I enjoy movies like that. This did not have it at all. Not one bit. And it's very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Again, it felt like, how can I say? It felt like it was trying to be other movies. It was a very bland, very generic plot. Like, they didn't even try. It seemed like they were just being safe. Hey, let's create a movie for the sake of creating a movie. Let's only be so edgy, but let's not get away with too much. We don't want to offend anybody, but, we don't mind offending just a few. It's like, I don't know. And the people in this movie could have done it. Could have. They showed a little bit of it. Ironically enough, the funniest person in this film, and I in no way should I be saying this, but it's the case in this film. The funniest person in this movie was Brendan Fraser. I know, right? Like, you would think Eddie, like, don't get me wrong, there were funny parts from other people, but the person that was constantly funny throughout the whole film was Brendan Fraser. Josh Brolin had a few moments. Peter Dinklage, I like Peter Dinklage. I like him. He wasn't very funny in this. I thought he was funny in other movies. Fuck, I remember in Elf, when I first seen him in a comedy role, that shit was funny. This, he was not funny in. Glenn Close was not funny in this movie. Like, I don't know. I don't know. For a comedy movie, this lacked the one thing that you needed in a comedy movie. Funny moments. Edgy moments. Things in this movie that you could go, oh shit, they just did that. Like, I could go on, like Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder was one what the fuck moment. And that's the type of shit that I'm talking about. Like Bad Santa. Bad Santa's all fucked up. Hilariously funny. But all fucked up in so many good ways. You would think that that's what, from the trailer, you would think that that's what this movie would be trying to be. But it wasn't. It failed at all of those things. The character development sucked. It was really bad. Pacing, really bad. You would have thought that, again, with the cast, there would be a reason to like the characters. You didn't. You didn't like the characters at all, which was a goddamn shame. Like, I really, like, when you do like brother type comedy roles, like Step Brothers, hilarious movie, edgy movie, enjoyed it and actually enjoyed the characters. This didn't care. The most interesting character, again, the most interesting character was Brendan Fraser's character. And he was more of a supporting role in this, so there is no reason for that to be the case. There is no reason for that, but it was. Brendan Fraser was the highlight of this film, and he was not technically the starring role in it. Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage should have been the most funniest ones in this movie, but they weren't. And that is a damn shame. That is really shameful to say that. I hate to dig at this movie, but and here, if you look this movie up, it states that this is an action comedy. Where was the action at? Like, Tropic Thunder was an action comedy. Okay, that's what that is. Where was the action at? It barely had any comedy, and it didn't have no action. Like, I mean, there was like a few parts that you could kind of say were action, but it wasn't. It wasn't at all. I'm just saying, for a comedy movie, I laughed. If I had to go from 0 to 100% wise of how much I laughed, I probably laughed maybe 20% of the time. 20% of the time in a comedy movie. That's how much I laughed. That is not good. That is not okay for a film that's whole driving point is comedy. Now, was this the worst movie I've ever seen? No, not at all. Not a horrible movie, just not a good comedy movie. That's really what I'm getting at. It's just not a good movie. It's not horrible. There are far worse movies out there, and I've covered quite a few of them. But this is not one of those. This is just not. This is one of those cases where you see the trailer and the trailer doesn't do the movie any justice. Like the trailer, no, my bad. I say that wrong. The trailer does better than the actual movie itself. And I really was looking forward. I was really in the mood for a comedy movie. Haven't sat down and watched a good comedy movie in a while. I was like, all right, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it for the Quest reviews. And you know what? Let's do it. Wasn't there at all. And it's a damn shame because I really wanted it. I really wanted there to be some edgy comedy. Again, there is a few moments in the film that were edgy, if you want to go that far. But it seemed like they shot their shot when they did those scenes. Like that was all they had. They couldn't do any more. They couldn't, like, that was it. That was the end of their edginess that they were willing to do. And that is a damn shame. I don't know if I'm going to see anything by this director again. If this is what this director feels is edgy comedy. Some people actually applauded him, saying his plot direction and safe direction was commendable. And that's the problem we have with comedy nowadays, is too many people are playing it safe. We don't have any of the comedy shit that we had from years ago, because everybody's so sensitive. And I think the thing that suffers the most when it comes to entertainment, the thing that suffers the most when it comes to safe spaces is comedy. Stand-up comedians suffer. Comedy movies suffer because people are too afraid to offend someone. And that's just a damn shame. So yeah, Brothers, a letdown for me. Not a horrible movie. I'm not going to give it a pile. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not going to give it a pile. It doesn't deserve that. But it is not a good movie. It's like, when you look up the cast, you would think Josh Brolin should be right at the top. It literally, at the very top of the casting list, it is Peter Dinklage, Brendan Fraser, Jennifer Landon. That's the top three. You would think it would have been Peter Dinklage, Josh Brolin, and then probably Brendan Fraser or Glenn Close. You would think that those would be it, but he's not even there. He was like, nah, I went from being Thanos to this shit. I don't even want it. Like, just pay me and I'm out, right? That's what that felt like. So let's go over some information because we're almost at that score part. You know what we're talking about. So let's go over some of the information that I have to share with you guys on this film. The movie came out March 19th, 2024. So not that long. It's literally at this point a year old. A little over a year old. Okay? So not that old. Style of the film, I feel it's a comedy. Maybe it's a comedy. They categorize it as a comedy action movie. Very loosely what I consider a comedy action movie. Rating. This is the part that pisses me off. The rating for this film is an R. And yes, it deserves an R, but if you're already going to get the R rating, you might as well go hard. Go good with that shit. Get it in. Don't be safe. You already got an R rating. But no, they played it safe. So you're going to get an R and you're going to play it fucking safe. Shame on you for that. You're not making me laugh with that. On Amazon, rents, buy options, or anywhere. I mean, it might be available somewhere else, but I always check Amazon for renting. It doesn't have any. Doesn't have any renting or buying options. And the reason for that is because it is a Prime original movie, I guess. And it is streaming on Prime Video. So I guess that's the highlight of it. You're not paying for anything. If you have Prime Video, you can basically just go watch it. No harm, no foul. The only thing that you'll be losing is time. So there's that as a highlight. This is the crazy part. So we got some, it was hard, but I found it. We got some budget information. The budget for this film was $45 million. Now, I think the reason why this film had a budget that it did is because of the cast. Because nothing else in this film deserved $45 million. There wasn't. It was spent on the cast. That's literally all it was. I wish they would have not hired the people that they hired and maybe put it into something else. Maybe that would have saved the movie. But they blew their shot on the budget, on the cast. And it's not that these actors are bad actors. They just, you work with what you got. And they didn't have much to work with. So, box office, though. This is the crazy part. Apparently, there was a box office. I did not know that, but there was. It's a shame because this makes it a success. If I am correct on the information that I found, this had a box office of $587 million worldwide. So that's a lot of fucking money to make, and it was a financial success at that point. Which, whatever. Fair enough. People got paid. I just don't think it should have. I don't know. I don't think it should have gotten that. Runtime, 1 hour and 29 minutes. So basically an hour and 30-minute long runtime. I was bored. I was bored about a quarter of the way in. So I don't know. I don't want to say it's too long of a runtime, but it was a boring movie. So take that as you will. But with that said, it is time for us to get into the scoring. As you know, this is the part of the show where we give our top scores and then we give our overall score. We have 5 categories that we score first from 1 to 5, 1.5, 2.5 if necessary, pile if below a 1, seal if below, above a 5. Those categories this week are story, acting, pacing, comedy, and production. Usually we have one that changes. The comedy one is the one that changes this week to comedy. Last week we had visuals. That one usually changes depending on the film. After that, we give our overall score, similar to the other ones, but this one goes 1 to 10. 1.5, 2.5 if needed, seal and pile are in effect. With that said, let's get into the score. First up on the chopping block is the story. What did I give the story? I gave it a 2.5. It's a very bare bones generic story. 2.5 straight down the middle. It's a very safe story. They weren't really trying to do, again, this story felt like it was just trying to be something else. It was trying to copy off of other movies that did have success. And they were like, let's get that success. And it failed. It's not a bad story. It's just a generic story. So straight down the middle, 2.5. That's the best that I can give for that. Moving on. What did I give for the acting? I gave the acting a 3.5. Now, I don't blame the actors. These actors in this film are usually known for having great acting, right? But you can only act as well as the content that you are given. The scripts were ass. They were blatant ass. So I don't blame the actors. The actors did the best with what they could do. That's how I feel about it. 3.5 is kind of a mixed bag because the acting wasn't stellar and the scripting wasn't stellar. So, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good either. So, yeah, 3.5 is the best that I can do when it comes to the score story. Let's move on to the pacing. What did I give the score for pacing? I gave it a 2. Horrible pacing. Like, character development was not there at all. Like, I just feel like I don't know, the pacing as flow, like it felt, again, a quarter of the way through the film I was bored. I didn't care. Like, they tried to give some backstory and it was so bland. There was nothing really going for it. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about the flow. Nothing was there when it came to pacing. It wasn't the worst pacing I've ever seen, but it just wasn't good. 2 is the highest that I can go on that one. Let's move on to the comedy. Now, it wasn't the worst. There were a few points that I can't mention because I don't want to spoil it for you. But it was not all around funny. It had a few funny moments, which a comedy movie should be all the way funny. That's its whole fucking driving point. It's supposed to be funny, but it wasn't. I give the comedy for this film a 1.5. That's the best that I can do. And the only reason it doesn't get a pile is because there was a few moments in this film that I went, ha! And then that was it. So, no. The comedy was not there. Let's move on to the final one of the top, the 5 scores. Let's move on to production. I give production a 2.5. For the amount of money that was spent on this film, it was a very bland movie. It wasn't horrible. But again, this is why I said I think most of the budget just went to the cast. Because there wasn't anything special in this film. It wasn't there. There was nothing. The production wasn't horrible, but it was very basic. Very basic. So, no, I can't give anything more than a basic score. 2.5 is the highest that I can go. So, with that all said, we got the 5 out of the way. So now, what did we give the overall score of the 2025 comedy film Brothers? Gave it a 4.5. That is the best we could do here. And it's a shame. 4.5 out of 10 is the best that I could do. I really wanted more. I was really looking forward to a good comedy movie. I really wanted to laugh. This was not it. The comedy was very bland, below average. If you're looking for a funny movie, if you are looking for an edgy funny movie, this is not it. If you have a very bland sense of humor, and if that's the case, hey, you know yourself. If that is your sense of humor, maybe you'd like this movie. But if you're an edgy comedic type person like myself and you like really edgy shit, this ain't it. It ain't it. The trailer looks like it is, but it ain't it. And that is a damn shame because it should have been. But it wasn't it. It failed flat. And for that, 4.5 is the best we can do here. But with that said, it is that time of the show where we say farewell. Hopefully you like the scores. Again, make sure you voice yours down in the comments down below. We want to know. Talk with us. Let us know if you disagree with what I had to say tonight, or if you agree, or if you would like to mention something, spoiler free again, that I didn't talk about. Maybe you have a point of view that I just missed. It's all welcome to be said down in the comments down below. Make sure to do that. Voice your opinion, get your shit heard, and join me in the Discord for further discussions. I always love to talk to you guys. You can also request movies as well. All that information and more can be found huelessvision.com. Go to it, love it, share it, pass it around. Everything is there, from the merch store to past episodes of everything that I do, whether it be the quest, whether it be Grim Tales, whether it be gaming related, whether it be movie related, it doesn't matter. Hell, there's even other things that are not related to any of those things that I do, and they will be found there as well. Also, every other platform that I am on, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, all that information is there for you to check out. Plus the schedule. It's all there, guys. So make sure to go there, huelessvision.com. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, stay up to date with everything that I do across the board. And until next week, I will see you when I see you. Until then, guys, peace.